Hey everybody, welcome to WWO Off Scripts, and I've got the privilege of bringing, two new folks in and a requested. Well, we have two requested individuals, and we have Jocelyn dressed as a green dragon. She's
The outfit is just amazing. I think it's the greatest.
yes, it is. So, everybody, welcome to Off Scripts. I am your host, Joseph Scoldren Knight, and we are here. As you all know already from the format, we are interviewing WWO talent. They are gamers, they are streamers, they are wrestlers, some of them, and some of them are just crazy madmen, like Gene is so familiar with. And we got Terry Treathies, also from Facebook. We got Selena. Thank you, Selena, for being here. Terry says, new, Scoldren's order. So he's very familiar with me. We all look like the Brady Bunch. Yes, it's the.
And of course, my mom's in the chat too.
Yes.
Here's the story of a dysfunctional family.
Oh, we're
Oh,
dysfunctional,
gosh.
all right. And we have Mama of Disney 2020. Welcome to the stream. And again,
My mother, Jennifer.
we talk about professional wrestling and gaming and everything. Let me introduce our staff. You already know her. She's my personal assistant. She is the bane of Chim Kicks. She is my WWO Women's Champion, in my opinion. She is the demoness, Jocelyn Havoc, wearing a
wait, hold on.
Uh-oh.
You know what? I figure why not? I'll wear about. Fuck it.
There you go.
Joe Jim, who's the
still don't have mine.
champion? This bitch.
Well, I have your belt, Gene. It's hanging on the wall over here.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
It's in safer hands with you anyway.
Yeah, geez, supposedly. And she is the Empress of the WWO. She is Empress Alicia. Welcome, Alicia, to the first time here.
Pleasure to be here.
And,
Welcome, everybody. Hi.
And now, the most requested individual. There has been a vote, and there is between Showtime Shane Black, Jocelyn Havoc, the G's. He is the current WWO Virtual International Champion. What?
You were listing off other people, and I'm like, so I'm fifth most requested? Or
No, you're in that list of most requested. So he is the WWO International Champion. He's the leader of the network podcast. He's a host of Nerdcast. He is the OSU, the one who designs all our stuff. OSU Phoenix. Gee, Gene, I had to give you. See, now you could pay me royalties for giving you all that build up right there.
You're gonna get an IOU because I don't got the money.
Yeah,
a little broke.
Yeah, that's usually how it is over here in WWO.
I was open.
All right, Ken, I just raised up my volume so he can hear me. All right, everybody. So you know how this works. We ask questions to the talent. So if you have any questions, make sure you bring it in. But I'm gonna go down the line myself because I have my own questions to go to them. And as we all know, the demoness, and this is off script, so this is non-kayfabe. So kayfabe usually means where they're in characters. Non-kayfabe means they're out of character. So there'll be questions on both sides. So let's go with that. Jocelyn Havoc is. There's another nemesis of yours. Rich the Redneck just turned up.
He's just trying to troll me.
Yeah. OSU hasn't
Love you, Rich.
been doing so well hooking in the Great White North.
Wow.
So we're gonna have a lot of fun here. Looks like pass the word around, everybody. Let's come down, come see the podcast, and please ask any questions. So let's go with Jocelyn Havoc. Jocelyn, the big question is the dragon outfit. Where did you get the dragon outfit?
Okay. So my mother decided we go to the Spirit Halloween store. And for some reason, my mother found this costume, it, and wanted me to wear it at school. Of course, I feel embarrassed.
I'd do it.
And
That should be a promo. That should be her in a promo.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
First of all, Jocelyn, put the hood up. Let's show everybody the hood.
oh
Yes.
man,
Yes.
Don't she look cute?
She looks like the Pete's Dragon you order off a Wish.
Yeah.
exactly.
you.
Oh, you did that.
Because I'm not sweating in this already.
Yeah,
God damn it!
she's sweating in there.
Oh, come back.
Well, this,
All
you know what?
right, all
Hold on.
right.
This wouldn't be off scripts. Every time Jocelyn's on here, we see her butt walk by. So, when you're hanging up the green screen, that's why we always say bottoms up.
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah, I
Talk
love
about that.
I love the demoness. Rich the Redneck says, "How many polar bears and reindeer have picked you up, Gene?"
Well, it's been a slow season. We're still sitting in the 50s up here, so things are just starting to come out of hibernation. So it's a little slow, but it'll pick up. Rich.
There we go. We got Ashley BM. Welcome to the stream.
She's doing the
Girl,
Pikachu.
Ashley, what's up, girl?
Yeah, there we go. So let's go again. Now we're gonna go up now, and I don't mean up north. We're gonna go up to the top panel, and Queen Empress Alicia. I gotta remember she's an empress, not a queen. We have Red Queen.
Yeah.
So Empress Alicia, how long have you how long have you been in this? I know you run your own EFED as well, so you've been doing it for quite some time, huh?
Yeah. I've been in the EFED business since the mid 2010s, I think it is. But I remember doing the ownership of Warrior Survivor Wrestling in the year 2021 when my father passed away. And at the same time, like the EFES started on my Nintendo Switch known as WWO 2K18. And that was the only wrestling game that I ever had. Like, I didn't own any other wrestling game but that. So, and then I decided to get my mother involved, because at first my mother was not a wrestling fan until we saw the movie Fighting with My Family. And at that time, it was just mostly me that wanted to do every single thing EFED related. But then our EFED career started in a fed called QZW, which was Quarantine Zone Wrestling, now turned into Crocatoad Pro Wrestling on Crocatoad on Twitch. Very, very good streamer, by the way. And then ever since then, like, our EFED careers have skyrocketed. Like, we never wrestled in an actual ring before. I mean, let's face it, we're not even wrestling like real life wrestlers. We're more like fans, to be exact. So, but yeah, that was basically what the whole entire story started. Of course, Warrior Survivor Wrestling, which is the EFED that my mom and I came up with. And basically it's a fed where we can pretty much be warriors, fighters, and survivors of pretty much anything. Like, my mother went through breast cancer. I went through endometriosis, stage 4. So that's why, like, if you see on the attire of my character, or on our characters, the pink represents breast cancer awareness for my mother, and then the yellow represents endometriosis for me. So that's how the whole entire thing began.
That's awesome. And one of the things is we definitely, happy that you survived that situation and your mother survived breast cancer. Meanwhile, the demoness is having a hard time with Stitch there. So, Gene, we getting a lot of things here for you. First of all, we got Mr. G. Welcome, Mr. G. He says Phoenix is the next victim. Then we have Rich the Redneck.
Oh,
We have Rich the Redneck. Demoness, how long till you turn on Scully and join the freak show? You know you want to. I think. I know the Demoness. She is. She knows. And he says, Gene, I know you're not currently a wrestling fan, but has WWO got you interested at all in it?
So I've always been like, wrestling has never been like a big thing for me. Like it just wasn't something I got into consistently. I've watched, some here and there. I don't know. It's just, for some reason, it's not. One, it's like now where I'm living, like trying to catch it is in the middle of like dinner time, and the kids want to watch this, that, and the other, and I have to kind of go with what they want. So timing wise, right now, that's just it wouldn't be possible. And then I don't really have a lot of time outside of like anything to do because I'm always working. But it's just wrestling wasn't ever something that really clicked like as a fandom thing, but I do watch it on occasion. That when I first really I had a stint where I was into it for a little while, and that was when Shawn Michaels and Triple H brought Degeneration X back, and I was into that for a little while, and then it just kind of fizzled off again, and it's just not something I've ever really been mainstream into.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm ever really going to get fully interested in it. I enjoy what I'm doing with this. To me, this is much more fun to be on the creation end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got your questions, Selena. I'll be going through them in a few minutes. So we're going to go to the panel. First of all, Alicia, where are you from? What state are you in?
Right now, my mom and I are originally from Southern California, down by the San Gabriel Valley. But right now, we're now living in Southern Delaware. We're right on the border of Delaware and Maryland. So needless to say, like we're kind of in the same area where the Briscoes were from.
Okay.
So
that's pretty cool. Are you talking about Jack and Jerry Briscoe or the actual Briscoe brothers, the ones that...
No, that was Mark and Jay.
Oh, okay, Mark and Jay. Jocelyn, same question for you. Where are you currently living?
yes. Excuse me. God damn it. So where I'm from is Adrian, Michigan. Where the small little big glove. Yeah, yeah. I'm closer to, let's just say, Ohio to Pennsylvania, maybe closer to New York and New Jersey. So
Okay. Gene, before I go in to give you your question, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I have to laugh because it really is like it's a Michigan thing. They all do it. I swear to God, they always put up their hand and I'm like, I'm from here. They really all do it.
Right there.
Yeah, I've never, like every person I've ever met that's from Michigan will always be like, I'm from this part of Michigan, like right here, and it's like, great. What is that, a freckle or?
Yeah. That's that lifeline on the hand,
Yeah.
We welcome Tall Order Services Media. We have Tall Orders, who we used to be DHG. We have he sends a comment, Gene, to you that says, "Good to have OSU Phoenix on board with WWO. Question for you all: if you could work at any defunct wrestling company, which one, and in what capacity?" So he's talking about like you have the NWA, the AWA, the WCW, and so forth. So let's go. I know Gene is not the was a wrestling fan, but let's go to you. Which defunct wrestling company would you go to, and in what capacity?
Was it the ECW? That was the Extreme.
Yes.
Yeah, I think ECW would probably have been my choice for that. And like as far as the capacity, I'd either want to be on the announcer end or I'd want to be like a producer. And like I love the the production aspect of it. Of course, I'm like steeped in production stuff when it comes to all the streaming stuff I do. And it's just that would have been. I really think with all those Extreme Rules matches, there would have been so much to have to try and capture as much as possible, and it would get kind of chaotic. And that just kind of fascinates me because it's like, how fast paced do you really have to be in that environment to make it happen? So that for me, it would have been ECW because of all that, just the craziness that they would do sometimes.
Yeah, it was real funny. At one time, I was working for TNA back many years ago, 2006, and I got to experience the how to work the cameras and all that. Plus, my mentor was the same way. You got to learn the cameras and all that, how to perform and how to put a proper product together. Let's go with Alicia. So, question for you, Alicia: if you could work for any defunct wrestling company, which one and in what capacity?
Oh God. Considering I am autistic. Out of character, I am autistic. I would
Yeah,
have to
girl.
say I would have to do small. Maybe like a indie promotion.
Okay.
Um, I mean, not like I have no love against the big time companies like WWE, AEW, TNA, whatever. I would suggest maybe actually there was a one fed that was near where we used to live called EWF, which was called Empire Wrestling Federation, and it was held like at a warehouse or something like that, or some sort of like recreational center. I can't remember exactly, but it's crazy if you ask me. But yeah, I did meet some of the stars from there. Very sweet, even though they were bad guys and good guys, but overall they were really cool people at a at a watch party. And sorry, I do love to talk, so I apologize.
So what capacity would you do? Would you be an announcer, commentator, a manager?
I would probably be a manager. The reason why is because I love to make sure that they're on their toes as much as possible. Like, I play general managers like in other feds too, not just my own, but like other shows too. Like, I like to be a booker too.
Jocelyn, if it's too hot, change.
I'm going to do that already because I'm sweating right now. It's
Yeah,
bullshit.
change. Ashley BM says, I want to work for the WWE for the creative, but I can see how working for a big company could be overwhelming. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it is.
That's my girl for you.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and right now it could be, it is. Let's see here, Scully. What did you want as part of the organization, but went another faction? Who did you want as a part of the organization, but went to another faction? In
So, like, who did you want in the Fed?
Yeah, like, well, for my group, I think the idea would have been Showtime Shane Black would have been part of the organization, and we were going to do, I think at one time the idea was to turn him against Duke. I think it was Duke and the network in that cage. Or no, excuse me, he would have turned against the network and Dutch and then come with us, and then we would have kicked Duke out, and that would have changed. But then the concept changed because I felt Shane is better as a babyface type tweener, like away from us. So that's why LG is the king. LG, he's the WWO World Champion. So That is why Terry said that is why she shouldn't wear green fuzzy things. So she just ran off. All right, Selena. Now,
Yeah. I can hear you guys.
yeah. Mr. G says,
Mhm.
yeah, and he will go down soon. So we're gonna
Hey,
go.
you made me famous. Just remember that.
Yeah. There we
Yeah,
go.
right.
Oh no, no. So the first time I ever did a promo against Mr. G, he like the entire like month leading up to it, he just kept going, "I'm going to make you famous," and he would come into my streams and even be like, "I'm going to make you famous. I'm going to make you famous," and I still laugh about it because I go, well, I mean, technically he did but it was more that, having lost to him, I realized I had to get more creative and I had to start really developing things a little bit faster than I was comfortable with. But I mean, in a way he did, but it was, working with Mr. G on, working against him, I should say. It really helped like drive me in developing things. So, it's always one of those things, though, that he always, I'm gonna make you famous.
Yeah. Well, he just said, "You are awesome, Phoenix." Ashley says
Aw.
that's Undertaker's quote. "Try me, I'll make you famous." So that was an Undertaker's quote. I did not know that. All right, a question from Selena. She says, and this is for all three of you: who is your favorite wrestler? Alicia, let's go to you. Who's your favorite wrestler?
Oh God, that's a good question. I actually don't have a favorite. I actually have more than one. And Ashley knows this because we actually interact with them, the Hardys.
Okay. Which one? Are you taking the both or are you looking at individually?
Both.
Okay.
Both. Matt and Jeff, the Hardys. The OGs, man, of the tables, ladders, and chairs matches.
Oh yeah. Gene, you're getting let's see here. Could be worse. You could have a gimmick involving grits. That's a Skinny Pete thing. So Jocelyn, so who is your favorite wrestler?
Mine would have to be the one, the only Eddie Guerrero.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That would have been my second choice too.
now for the international champion himself, who is your favorite wrestler?
So I've had a few, but there's always one that just stands out to me, and it's Ric Flair. Ric Flair, for some reason, has always stood out to me for just kind of how eccentric he would be. Plus, the iconic is just, I mean, it's too awesome.
Yeah, that and that is. I'm gonna tell a story here, everybody. I'm gonna tell a quick story here, and both Rich the Redneck and Mr. G go woo, and there's King LG. He goes Eddie Guerrero, thumbs up. When we came up with the concept for the WWO and the factions, when Marvin explained to me that network, because I didn't know the network when we were in the other promotion, and I always figured that the network was going to be our version of the Four Horsemen, where Gene is Ric Flair. He's the leader of the group, the more charismatic. And then you have Marvin, who's pretty much, I think Marvin was he's kind of the Arn Anderson, the enforcer role. And then you had, Kyle, who's kind of like the Tully Blanchard. And then you had, I forgot, you had somebody else. But
we did have Rich for a little bit when we first started. And then, there was things that happened and that got abandoned. So,
yeah. Over on YouTube, we have Ken, who's KB3 with us. He says, Scully, for an aspiring wrestler that might watch this, how important is character development and what's the beginning stages of development? That's an excellent question, and I am also going to throw that to the panel here. So first of all, it's very important to know your character. You got to know exactly what you want to be. I'm gonna throw Jocelyn as an example. Jocelyn she has her character as the demoness, and she invested in her. Jocelyn, if you could show the mask off that you wear, and if you get a little bit closer to the
Hold on.
camera, developing your character, knowing your character, so that way when you are gonna do promos, it's a big thing. See, there's her thing. So Jocelyn's character, again, is the demoness. You've seen she invests into the gimmick. So she actually develops her own character and just made it to fruition. So she knew what she was looking for. She knew what she was capable to get, and then builds the promo around it. So character development is as a big thing.
Oh yeah.
You want to know what character you are, so when you translate that into a promo, it's a big thing.
Yeah.
So let's see here. I'm going to go back. Terry says, I actually see Jocelyn as more of an Abaddon fan. So Mr. G says he's a huge Cactus Jack fan. Rich says, invested. I spent almost $300 on my character. So, and Jocelyn is, Terry 3D says for Jocelyn, okay, Mother Endless. If you know who that character is, she's also a female wrestler. But definitely the beginning stage of sit down. If you're just starting, sit back, look at yourself, then look at the different characters that are out there. Never mimic someone fully, because I know there's people that mimic, like Ric Flair. Give you a perfect example. Jeremy the Madman. Everybody says he's a mix of Bray Wyatt and Cactus Jack. But he takes it, and he took that idea and made it his own and gave it nice tweaks to it. So now you see the Madman. So that's a lot. You have to really build your character that way. So that's one of the things. Rich says, cowboy hat, $100. Duster coat was almost $200, and a nice Western button-up. So that's, again, a very good thing. Invest in your character if that's what you want. Terry 3G says that's a lot of grits. I am that Rich the Redneck. Ashley says her favorite wrestler has to be The Rock. Watching him actually got her into wrestling. So that's awesome. So, Gene, we got a question from Selena. She says, have you ever considered doing video games?
Like, what do you mean doing video games? Like making them?
I guess making video games.
So it's actually kind of a funny thing. I have thought about it. I thought about it for years. The problem is I never learned how to code. I didn't know how to like put a lot of that stuff together. But lately I actually found that there is a website out there. It's a nonprofit organization that basically provides programs for you to learn how to code. So I've actually started learning HTML, and then that'll lead me into CSS and into JavaScript. And then I'm going to kind of keep going through the courses because I already try to build a lot of stuff when it comes to StreamerBot for my stream. And some of the things I want to pull off with it, I have to learn how to code in C#. So I am learning all that, but there has been some inspiration lately for me to actually think about making video games. So that is something that I am considering a possibility. I just have to actually spend the time and dedicate the time to learning how to make them.
Rich Redneck says, dude, I am down OSU. Let's get Unreal Engine and get it going.
Ooh. First, I need to know what I'm doing. I gotta learn.
Trial by error.
I already have done that with graphic design, and trust me, I'd rather learn first than trial and error.
Well, folks, and we are going to talk about Gene's graphic design in a little bit. Question for the whole panel is, what do you like to do as a hobby? Empress Alicia, you're first. What do you like to do for a hobby?
Well, I love to stream. I love to stream not just wrestling games, but I love to stream Disney games. I love to stream like different variety games. Um, I used to do retro games before I even decided to switch to wrestling games. And Ashley could tell you, my mom could tell you, Jocelyn could tell you. Um, I would do it all. Seriously, I would do it all. And for those that don't know, you can follow me at Alicia Warrior Queen on Twitch. And the funny thing is, one of my Disneyland Adventure videos, when I made the transition from Twitch to my YouTube channel, it made over 5,000 views, which I never thought I would see. I mean, almost 6,000. And I never, like I said, I never thought that one video would change my whole entire perspective. I mean, since I am a huge Disney fan too, not just wrestling and anything in general.
So,
but yeah.
Holy Christ, Jocelyn's drinking a huge 2-liter of Pepsi.
Sorry about that.
No, it's not Pepsi.
What is it, Coke or something?
Yeah, it's Coke Cherry.
Okay.
Good
like
stuff.
That. So basically, for Alicia, you like streaming video games. That's your hobby then. That's what you like to do.
Yeah, I also like to hang out with my family, go on outings, hang out with my mom.
That's cool. So let's go to Eugene. What do you like to do as a hobby? Besides harassing Jeremy the Madman.
I'm one of the fortunate ones that I've turned my hobby into my job. So I've with the permission of my wife and the support of my wife, I have dedicated myself to content creation. And it's something I love doing. So I make YouTube videos, I stream. I also do the graphic design stuff. So, I mean, I'm fortunate that I get to do that. But beyond that, there is the video games. I am a collector. So I have a giant encasing of just video games ranging from the Atari 2600 to current. I have multiple gaming systems from, I have NES, Super NES, N64. I love collecting this stuff. And it's just because it's my passion. I love to pull them out. I love to every now and then be like, man, I'm really feeling just playing some Splatterhouse, or, Super Mario World or what, and being able to pull out the original feel, that nostalgic feel. So, I really, really just steep myself into pretty much everything I do. So when it comes to hobbies, I somehow turn my hobbies into more than just a hobby.
And it's really cool because I have those same systems. I have still the Atari 2600 in the old case that used to be with the controllers, the paddles, a whole bunch of games for it. Behind me,
you got the old wooden one, old wooden box.
The old wooden box. Yeah. I can actually let me see. Yeah, hold on a second, real quick.
Yes. See, I had an old wooden box one, but then it unfortunately it died, and I still have the last one they made, which was really miniature and all plastic. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
that was
my
advanced
God.
back then.
Hold on. Take the cover off, and here it is.
Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Oh my God.
I'll have to look at it later.
If you ever
that is so fantastic.
If you want to ever work on your hand and wrist, make it stronger, play with one of these damn things. One button, folks. One freaking
button. And those joysticks were not easy to move either. They were it was literally you had to jam it. It was almost like working with a 1960s manual transmission. You just have to put it in gear.
Yeah. And Gene, I know you gotta have this one. Everybody has this one. It's gonna come up there for you guys to see it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I got that one too. It's downstairs.
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of games here. So you guys,
You have ET though.
Yes, I do. That has to be a part of the collection.
Most garbage
That-
game ever.
And I also have Gene and Intellivision. If you so, let me see. You probably folks. It's all plugged in. This one's the only one not plugged in yet. Hold on.
See, this is how you can tell it's my passion, because I get stupid excited for really old consoles that everybody's like, why would you want to play on that? Because it's awesome. Because this is what I grew up on.
Too. It
Like,
brings
what,
people back
what
to their childhood.
happened to the old fucking days? Like, come on, we need backs, goddammit. We need like old gaming backs. I'm like, shit, come on.
Well, one of these days, I'm really hoping I can get my Dreamcast collection back. I sold my Sega Dreamcast collection in order to move from Ohio to Florida in with my now wife. And of course, when she found out that I sold all my Dreamcast stuff just so I could do that, she got mad at me and told me I was never allowed to sell my video games ever again.
Yeah.
And that's how I knew that was the right woman for me.
Yeah. My wife is the same way. I have an original Nintendo with all the stuff for it. The Sega Genesis. I've got.
Yep.
Right here, folks. If I turn on my other camera, you could probably see it. I have all the PlayStations, starting from the very first one.
Same.
The N64, the GameCube, the first big fat Xbox.
Yeah.
The Wii and all the Super Nintendo.
Oh, God.
So yeah, I have them all, and I even have a Pong consoles. I just gotta find.
I feel like Scully and I need to take pictures of our collections and compare them in the Discord server.
Yeah.
I feel like this needs to happen.
Okay, now I'm jealous because of YouTube. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
and it's like you
Not
can see.
fair.
You can see behind me. I have the arcade machines. So
Yeah.
The
Which
one-
arcade machines do you have back there?
all right. Well, this one in the corner is a Pac-Man 1-up. My son gave me that.
Okay.
Then the other one I actually picked up. It's a Mortal Kombat 2 cabinet, but it has 12-in-1 games. So it's like a whole bunch.
Oh, okay. All right.
So it's all that. Then on this side, you can't see it. I think it's a little bit off, but it's past the big one. It's a Star Wars game. You actually sit in and you fly it with the controls. So
I know that one. Yeah, I used to waste a lot of money on it.
yeah, and the big one that says Midway, that is an actual old arcade machine that actually has 24 games in one. Defender, Joust, Robotron. It has Bubbles. It has everything. So that one's actually out of an arcade. So they were getting rid of it, and they were a fan of my game streams when I used to do game streams, and they actually donated that whole system up there. So, but now I'm missing questions here. So let me go back to.
Yeah, sorry, we nerded out.
Yeah, we nerded it out here. And let's see, I'm going to go back because we got tons of questions I just passed.
Just so you know, I do have the arcade of Teenage Mutant Ninja.
Hey,
There
yeah.
we go. I want to get
Oh, that's
that
a good one.
I want to get
Go,
that.
That's a
girl.
good one.
All right. Ashley says Alicia also plays retro games too. So that's cool. So Ashley says, Alicia, you play retro games. Rich the Redneck.
I did at one point.
Rich the Redneck, the Demoness says, when the women's division gets built up, do you think you would rather focus on a tag team or solo?
Well, that when we build this women's division up, not only I am going to be wrestling, but I maybe possibly be a manager for the women's division because I've been a manager before. Alicia knows this by now
I
because hell, I put the ladies in line. Trust me. Do you see me? Check out the wheel me. Trust me, you don't like me.
All right. Rich the Redneck says, Gene, eventually the network will fail. Who in the WWO would you majorly want to team with, even if it's a short run?
If I was to do a tag team, There are a few people I feel like I would really work well with. Now obviously, like Jeremy and I, when it comes to developing our story and everything, I mean we've been working fantastically together. So I mean I know I can always pull something off with him. I think it would be interesting to see what would happen if Rich and I were to ever to be a tag team. I think that would make it for an interesting combination because he would be almost like the wild one, and I would have to be the one that's sane. Uh, Um, and then I think it would be really interesting to wind up with either one of the G's, to be honest, either Mr. G or King LG. I think both of them have just an absolute, just amazing presence that I would almost want to like go and try and top. And then it would just kind of be this competition of who can top who. And I think it would just be fun that way. I like to have the challenges to force me to be a little bit more creative. So, yeah, I think one of those four would be fun.
Now, everybody, I am going to catch up to all your comments and questions because we are getting a lot of them. You here in the panel should feel are definitely should be happy. We're getting a lot of questions. Alicia, the question for you would be, what are your thoughts on the promo-based versus AI format now that you've been involved in a while? So now you went from promo-based versus AI to what we do, because it's a totally different thing.
This is still pretty new to me because I'm so used to doing the AI versus AI and the type promo versus type promo. I'm still in the process of trying to get my promos right. I'm not gonna lie. I still struggle from time to time. Just like the last promo, I kind of struggled with feeling like even though I'm a baby face, I still need to learn how to add more feeling to it. Like maybe I can be more serious but still be a baby face. Like, for instance, like Jocelyn gave me a good point the other day. She said, I'm tired of losing. I need to fight back, but I can't be too loud. Like I'm saying that as an example, sort of thing. I'm not saying that as an actual promo, but I'm saying like as an example, so to speak.
Okay.
I can be loud, but at the same time, I try not to be too loud to where I'm going to disrupt my family next door. So
yeah.
Rich the Redneck says, I can't even call ET a game, Gene. So,
Yeah, to be fair, it was one guy, and he only spent 4 months on it.
Yeah. And Terry 3G says, when Frogger was $200 just to get the game. Remember that?
Yeah, that was that kind of stuff that's caused the video game market crash.
Yep.
Which a lot of people think we're heading for right now. We're heading for another one. That's what everybody thinks. So,
by the way, Gene,
we'll see.
I also have Famicom games too.
Oh, nice.
So a fan of mine's donated a bunch of Famicom games, like the original Dragon Ball Z's.
Nice.
I have a whole bunch.
Love Dragon Ball Z games.
Yep. So I got them also on the shelf. I've got WCW Nitro for PlayStation 1. And I still have original Tomb Raider 1 and Resident Evil 1 for PlayStation. All right, so
I still have the Resident Evil games and the Silent Hill games for PS1 and PS2.
Yep. Those are going to be very, very good games in the future. All right, let's go down the line. KB3 says, and Alicia, you're going to start. Who is your WWO dream opponent? Gender doesn't matter.
Oh,
so it could be male or female.
Oh, gosh.
So your dream opponent now.
Oh, God. There's a lot I can think of, but right now, I think, gosh, that's a good question. I really don't know. I know that we were in talks of doing a mixed tag. So that's still in the works with you, KB3. and someone else actually. But God, if I had a choice, I mean, does it have to be male or does it have to be female?
It could be
Anyone.
anyone.
Oh God.
I
I
actually
would
have to
love
look at the
do a
roster.
match.
What?
Oh God. I would love to do a mixed, like an intergender match with you, Gene.
There you go.
All right.
Believe it or not, I would. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm surprised you didn't say Chim Chim Chimaroo. We love Chim.
I mean,
Oh.
yeah. I'm seeing like for those that I have not faced yet.
Okay. Let's go to Jocelyn. Jocelyn, who is your WWO dream opponent?
I really want to face Jeremy the Madman because, don't get me wrong, I love the guy, but goddamn, he fucking scares me half to death. Because you don't know where the fuck he's going to come from. He's going to be behind me, he's going to be in front of me, he's going to be side by side. You don't know where this guy's going to be.
And folks, real quick, I have a ton of requested questions. Now I got more questions coming up. So you folks are breaking the barrier now. You're
Ooh,
you
cool.
overstepped with all of our questions. So, Ashley says old consoles bring back so much nostalgia for her. Yes, it does. Sitting,
It
what's
does,
funny?
Ash.
I'm gonna take a break. We play Dead by Daylight. We play all the newer games. But when you sit down, after playing all these fantastic new games with extreme graphics and all that, when you sit down and actually play like Sonic the Hedgehog, Super Mario Brothers, how have you even played
my
Vanguard
God.
for the Atari 2600? You forget how difficult these games were.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what makes playing them so great though, is because the replayability was based off of the difficulty. It wasn't about like, oh well, what can we add to it with DLC and everything. It was about it's challenging. Good luck.
Yeah.
We had to learn quickly.
And it was the games that,
Even when
that
we were
ended.
kids, we had to learn different games like that. It's
Yep.
crazy, especially in the 80s and 90s.
Yep, and it was games that, just like that, your quarter went if you're in the arcade, or you lost you had to start all over again. So
I and I didn't mean to cut you guys off, but I do remember a game where I used to play as a kid called Duck Hunt. Do you remember that game? Duck Hunt?
Oh yeah, I still have it and the light gun.
Yep,
Doesn't work anymore, but yeah.
I still have mine with the light gun, and it works.
I have to find a
Oh
CRT
my
TV
God.
to
Talk
get it
about
to work,
memories.
but yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna swing my camera real quick so you folks could see it over here. That's an old big TV set, and you guys probably will see it on. I had to get an old TV set, big boom TV, so
Oh, wow.
to actually play all those games. You can see the Genesis, the Nintendo, and a couple other games. So yeah, it's crazy to have all of those. And we're going to go to another thing. It says you need to get adapters to be able to hook up your old system to your capture card. Yes, I have actually a Switch box. So all my games are on a Switch box. And then click, 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 and I can play all of them on certain. But the older games, like the Atari, the Intellivision, the ColecoVision, they won't work on any new TV. You have to play them on the old TV. So I know some of them now you can have them modded, and you can get them done. I don't want to mod those games because they're perfect with that. Could make streams awesome. Like I know a couple like the Nintendo ones I could do that with. Let's see here. Ashley BM says for you, Gene, if someone supports your hobbies and passions, they're a keeper. So.
Oh yeah, I know. After our 13 years or no 12 years of marriage, I do not regret it in one way, shape, or form. In all that time, we have never raised our voice at each other, yelled at each other, fought. I have always been counted myself extremely lucky for who I found.
That's great. See, me and my wife for 33 years, and how she puts up with me, I'll never know. But
Yeah. Yeah.
Terry
I don't understand it either, man. You just sometimes it's best not just a question, just keep going. Just keep going.
Yep. I think we're just too lazy to find other
Stop
people.
touching yourself and just love the person that you love the most. That's all you care about.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, so Terry 3G says, "Oh, the Dreamcast. It's interesting news came out about it. Sega paid Nvidia $2 million to develop a GPU for it, but Nvidia couldn't do it. It ended up being an S3 Savage GPU used in it. Sega fulfilled the contract in exchange for shares of Nvidia. 2 years later, sold the shares for $4 million. I wasn't aware of that.
Wow.
DHG in his tall order services says Dig Dug. That's his favorite game. I remember Dig Dug. Terry 3G says, what? No mixed tag division? Beat Tony Khan to the punch. Actually, we did do a mixed tag match in Wrestle Clash.
Yeah, Empress Alicia was on that.
Empress Alicia with KB3. Richard Redneck, that
right.
was...
We dominated. Yeah, we dominated. I can't even talk. We dominated like that.
Yep. Well, look how they were taking on Duchess.
That's because they weren't in our level. That's why.
Yeah, they were the table fodders.
Bottom of the barrel.
Yep, that was amazing. The G's would be amazing. No tag team with Ali G. Let's see here. Rich the Redneck. Okay, Gene, that was you. Let's see here. We're gonna skip. John Moxley is not an option to be picking. I'm just going to the question. Question now. Finally, I got, like I said, I had to filter out, and we still got tons of questions from Facebook side as well.
Can I answer the previous question?
Go ahead.
So I actually had to sit and think about it, but my dream matchup would actually be against Shane Black, mainly because it would be like, somebody with a lot of strength versus little skinny twiggy me. And I just think that would be a very interesting match.
I think if it was promo versus promo, you probably got him a little, but Shane is an intense promo guy. So that
he is, and I think that would be really fun to just see what would happen.
Yep.
So, it took me a little bit to think about it, but I wanted to answer that one real quick.
Okay. And again, everybody, we're gonna talk more about these things, but we're gonna go through these questions really fast. Question for Gene from King LG. Even if you're not into wrestling, what do you think of the WWE games?
So, naturally, I haven't actually played any of them, but from what I've seen, the quality of it seems pretty good, especially when it comes to the actual motions. For what's achievable these days. I think, as I've seen from like 2K21 to what's out now, 224?
Yes, 24. There you go.
Yeah. There hasn't been a lot of separation from year to year. Very minor kind of improvements. And this is something it's a criticism I kind of have always had when it comes to any kind of sports game. Is that when you release them year after year, there is never enough time to really build, truly new, unique things. And one of the things I would like to see WWE, the 2K series do, is to actually do a real big leap when it comes to how the motions going from one move to the next. Because some of them still seem very kind of
glitchy,
and it doesn't seem smooth at all. Like they could, if they could ever smooth that part out, I think it would just make it shine so much more.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of my biggest criticisms.
All right. And I have that criticism about the WWE games as much. They rush to get them out and they give them time. That's like what happened with 2K, was it 23, where it just crashed completely multiple times.
It was poorly put together.
Yeah. They hired the same guy who did E.T.
That poor dude.
KB3 says, he still has WWF WrestleMania for the NES, if you remember that one.
Oh
Um,
wow,
Oh my
yeah.
god.
How about Terry 3G says, how about the frustrations of playing Qbert?
Oi.
Oh,
That was a
no,
hard
I did
that was a,
not.
that was a
Hubert.
hard game.
He
I
was
never
so
played
cute,
it.
but at the same time, he was such a jerk. Because you would be like, "Oh no, go to the left," and he would just jump off the freaking map, and you'd be like, "Really? Come on, man."
Yeah. Let's see here. Out for the Demonist, KB3 says, outside of WWO, Demon Havoc is 3-0 over KB3. So Pong, DHD Tall Order Services Media says Pong screen burning. Yeah, I remember those when the game used to burn. Rising Phoenix says welcome Rising. She says because wifey is the GOAT.
Yes.
Folks, I'm like trying to catch up here because this is
It's
the
okay.
most questions.
Rising's talking about my wife. So yeah, Rising calls my wife wifey,
Yeah.
and my wife returns the favor. Apparently, they kind of like married each other somehow. I don't know.
That's great. Let's see the videos behind the scenes.
Yeah, I would
I
like.
wish I had that too. Ashley says, I recently bought SmackDown. Here Comes the Pain and Shut Your Mouth for PlayStation 2 recently, and I forgot how hard those games were.
That's nice, girl.
Um,
That was a pain in
so
the
let's see
ass.
here. Okay, to the all Terry GG says from all the panel, says what does WWO need? Better, and this is I'm going to toss the question to you, Gene. What does WWO need? Better graphics, better entrance music, more male or female talent, better food at the concession stands.
As bad
food.
as the concession stands are, especially price wise. Yeah, thanks, Scully. Can you price gouge anymore? No. No. In my opinion, I think it really comes down to talent. We definitely need to have a little bit more variety because right now, especially when it comes to our female wrestlers, we don't have enough to really build out enough of a roster to get some very interesting, things going on with a bunch of different personalities and whatnot. Even on the male side, that we could still fill that out a little bit more. I the graphics, some of this stuff does take time, and I have a lot of stuff that I'm doing, and I'm trying to catch up on stuff for WWO, such as the women's locker room. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. That's gonna happen. But I have requests from people. Hey, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? So I'm like trying to catch up on those. Graphics, that it just takes time, and like the overall production, that just takes time to refine.
Yep.
But overall, it's getting the talent in and having a good pool of people you can pull from. And this way, you don't feel like you are constantly riding on the same people to deliver over and over again. That if somebody needed to take a break for a family emergency or anything like that, it's easier to do. I think just having a bigger selection of people to work with would really ease a lot of stuff.
Yep. So if you want to be a WWO talent in the virtual side, because there is a real WWO wrestling company, which I run as well. If you're interested in being part of what we do, definitely hook us up. Just send us a message. We are here on either Facebook or YouTube or Twitch. You can join our Discord channel, and you could see what we do. And you got to have a green screen so you can get involved in the product, because there's promos, there's other stuff that has to be done. So let's go to Alicia. The same question. What do you think WWE need? WWO needs more of.
I get what you're saying. Gosh, I would suggest maybe adding more women's titles to the mix. Not just the women's championship. I know that we're in the process of trying to add more female talent to the mix. But I would suggest maybe doing more like a variety of matches too, like not just like normal, not just mixed, like not just backstage brawls, whatever. but it can be like Iron Man or Iron Woman matches. It can be Falls Count Anywhere. It can be gauntlet matches. The whole works.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Like adding a weapon, like different weapons to the ring. Like they just recently added a
Thank
Slim
you.
Jim. They just recently added a door. They just recently added a light bulb or light stick, whatever it is.
Yeah.
In
All
a
about the
wired
hard
back.
cry, baby.
Yeah.
It's WWO Season 2, which we are now, if you folks are part of the Discord channel, we are now after Wrestle Clash, we are now on what's called the Road to Summer Bash, and we are currently started Season 2. So, in my opinion, what this WWO it needs all of the above. We need more tag teams. King LG just said that. We need more women wrestlers. We need better production. We need everybody to pull together and get stuff done on that stuff, because we have selected people to do selective groups. Like we got the Hellbilly, we have King LG who do WWO zone matches. Marvin Dallas does live WWO live and and pretty much the WWO live shows and Saturday Night Slam and streams. So when it comes to the bigger stuff like Wrestle Clash and all that, that goes to different talent to put together. We need to make that a lot stronger. We've been practicing a little bit of the graphic swipes, and if you saw from the Wrestle Clash that once an individual's promo was done, it moved out of the way and another promo came in and then it went to the match. So it's kind of taking a little bit of WWF idea on that. So that's kind of the thing for me. What we need to really strengthen WWO, we need everything. We need the talent.
Yeah.
We need more women wrestlers. We need more tag teams, and we need better production. So you folks, this time around, you're going to see more of that changes. So you're going to see a lot more refining. Jocelyn, question for you, the same question. What do you think WWO needs?
I would say all of the above because, what kind of talents, when you all hear, it's not about like, oh, it's a real wrestling. No, this is like a video game. Like you meet all of us here and like we get to know each other that quick. And trust me, I know it since day one, so.
Yep.
All right.
She does.
KB3 says, has anyone beaten Superman on 64? Gene?
Nope, wouldn't touch that game with a 10-foot pole. Nope.
Put it like this. I have the game, and I wanted to fling my control. I thought I Am Toast was a lot easier. I threw that out the window, that game.
I'd rather have to tame a lion that hasn't been tamed ever than play Superman 64.
Rising says to Eugene, she did, and they have a sushi date to still going on.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
2 years ago that date was made, and they haven't been able to do it.
Yeah. Tall Order Services Media, DHD, says WWO needs more pyro. So, Gene, I think I requested that. So, good. Somebody's actually came up with that. KB3 says WWO needs more cowbells. Yeah. So.
Oh, yeah.
And
maybe I'll build that into my character.
You know what we do need is more security.
Hey, I hired the best. The Acme guy's a great. Ralphus is a great man. For you guys don't know who Ralphus is, check the old WCW shows.
I'm just going to exit on that one.
All right. We're going to go back to the question. Jocelyn, a question from Selena says, if you could be in a horror movie, which one would it be and what would your role be?
Ooh.
Oh, God. I mean, I do love Halloween, don't get me wrong. definitely in like a haunted house. One of those characters just like cutting people up and like, you see this? I got a knife. I'm not a man. I'm not that scary, people, but goddamn.
All right, I'm going to skip a couple of these questions because everybody already asked them outside. The big question is, again, from Selena. Thanks, Selena. She says, to the panel here, and we're going to start with Felicia. Star Wars or Star Trek?
Oh yeah, Star Wars. I would watch more Star Wars and Star Trek anyway, because don't get me wrong, Gene Roddenberry is pretty good, but George Lucas is a goat, the greatest of all time.
All
I
right.
mean, I remember like my mom and I would watch Star Wars together. Like, and when we used to go to Disneyland, we used to ride this ride like before we got tired of it, called Star Tours. And recently, a couple years ago, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge had opened, and we saw the Millennium Falcon ride up close. Never thought we would see something like that before in a theme park.
Yep.
But yeah, Star Wars all the way.
All right, Jocelyn Havoc, Star Wars or Star Trek?
Of course, Star Wars, which I had my little good friend of mine, Baby Yoda, or some people will
Grogu,
call him
it's called.
Grogu.
Yep. Okay. Gene.
Uh-oh.
He's going to go against the grain here.
God
I'm
damn
going
it.
to say something that's really controversial.
Oh, no.
Especially with between Star Wars and Star Trek. I like both.
jeez.
I love both. I am a sci-fi junkie. I love Star Wars. I love Star Trek. I love Doctor Who. I love Babylon 5. If it's science fiction, I am all about it.
Yep.
I love them all because they represent the imagination of the future we all would love to see. And for me, I can get lost in sci-fi stuff. I mean, if I here, hang on. There we go. But this is my streaming background, and like it's science fiction style because it is what I love more than anything. I'm a sci-fi guy. Period.
KB.
So I actually don't do the Star Wars or Star Trek. I love them both.
Well, KB3 says Galaxy Quest was the best.
Yes.
Oh, that's also a good one too. That was also
Galaxy
a good movie,
Quest was a
too.
better Star Trek than Star Trek.
Correct, yeah. And just to show you where I am, I do like all the sci-fi, Babylon 5, Battlestar Galactica, Space 1999.
Oh, yeah.
But one of the top things I like is this.
Did he?
It's a,
He's showing something and I can't see him. Hang on. Yeah.
This is an actual combat saber donated to me by Selena. Thank you, Selena. So let's see here. Turn it off now. There we go.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And she got it from Theory Sabers. So I'm gonna.
Oh.
Yeah. So Star Wars Theories. You can go check them out on YouTube. All right. So we're gonna go further. We're gonna go back to our questions here. Terry 3G says the glowing battle prod. Let's see here. Panel, would you rather eat grilled cheese from the WWO concession stands or wrestle the wrestlers from Grills Unknown? So, grilled cheese or no grilled cheese? Alicia, grilled cheese or no grilled cheese?
Grilled cheese.
Jocelyn.
I would say no.
Gene?
Depends on the cheese.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
If it's American cheese, no.
Cheese
Any
does
other
not
cheese,
matter.
probably.
Okay. All right. KB3 says, come on, Scully, come on now. Spaceballs. Hey, that's what?
Ah. You
Baseball's
could get
is
me
funny,
started
too.
on a whole Mel Brooks thing.
Yeah. Oh, I love Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks is a genius.
DHG says Lost in Space. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger.
Oh, yes. Original robot. Yes. The floppy arms.
Yeah. You bubble-headed booby. Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
I love
such a good
I
one.
love Dr. Smith. You'll see me. I'll geek out too, and I'll start saying these quotes. Best movie from DHE says best movie Space Hunter Adventures in the Dead Zone. Gene, you probably, I don't know if you heard that one.
It
No.
sounds familiar.
Oh, we've got, okay, Terry G says big thick cheddar on white, signature move, the melter. That would be that. Okay.
Nom nom.
Yep. All right, we're gonna
I'll
go.
take it.
We're gonna go again with Selena's question. Alicia, be ready for this one. Which WWO star is your favorite and why?
Oh. You know,
Jocelyn's
I'm so
like, it
familiar
better
with
be
her.
me.
Jocelyn.
What? No.
Jocelyn, the reason why is because I've known her for so long. I mean, nothing against the other competitors, but I've known Jocelyn for so long that we're like this. And to be honest, like, I love working with her. Like, she's so down to earth. She's so patient with me. And I'm patient with her. So that's why we get along so well.
We're like sisters.
Yeah, we are. But if I had a second choice, it would probably be Chim Kicks. Chim, because she's so good at what she does. Like, she's so talented in that ring.
Chim chimney,
And-
chim chimney,
And
chim
I'm a big fan of
chim.
martial arts.
Yeah.
To like not just the royalty gimmick that I have, but I'm a big fan of martial arts. Like, I'm a big fan of the Power Rangers, like, even as a kid. And when I saw her dress up as a ninja, I'm like, I love it.
Yeah, I don't get me wrong. My part of my gimmick is to have fun at the talent, poke fun at the talent, and I love Chim Kicks. You know, I'm always saying Chim Chim Chimaroo. You know, Chim Chim Chimaree. I wonder if she eats Chim Chim chimichangas, so stuff like that. What? Everybody's covering their mouth. Let me go to Gene so he can uncover his mouth. Who's your favorite WWO wrestler and why? Or should I say star? That's what the question was.
Okay, well, I have a little bit of bias because I have Rich the Redneck, Jeremy the Madman, Red Queen Phoenix, Rising Phoenix. They're all in in our group Discord that we call the network, and it's we formed it as basically like trying to take multiple streaming communities and combine them together, as well as providing others opportunity to become a fellow host and all this. So naturally, I would love to say all of them, and that is biased. But you know, I really have to say, and it really comes from really working with Jeremy for so long on developing the story and bouncing ideas off each other. Jeremy just had, I love working with him, and he has such a passion and knowledge for everything when it comes to wrestling, and he really loves to dive deep into the character. And I try to throw him curveballs all the time. I try to throw him stuff that he's not expecting, and he can take it and he can run with it so much further than I ever thought he would. And I'm impressed by what Jeremy does repeatedly. As much as I try to trip him up and, you know, make him trip over his own words or go, what the hell do I do for my next promo? He threw this at me. He always finds a way, and he always develops something even more fantastical from it. Mm-hmm. And so I have just developed such an admiration for what Jeremy can do when it just comes to being the character, being the talent. I mean, I get impressed by it, and it drives me to consistently try to somehow be better and develop my character a little bit further and go, well, what am I going to do next? How can I try and top him here? And I mean, it's always a matter when you're going against Jeremy, it's always a matter of what do you do to outdo somebody who has just perfected this crazy person persona so well. And I mean, it has absolutely been a pleasure just working with him the past, I don't know how many months we've been doing this.
7. 7 months, Gene.
It doesn't feel like it.
Yep.
I've had so much fun doing it with him. It still feels like we've only been doing this for a couple months.
Yeah. One of the things, and we're going to go back to the questions in a few minutes. The way the stories have been built in WWO fans. Normally, like for me in creative, who's in charge of everything, and we got to put it all together. I got to put people. I got to look at everybody and say, okay, this person's taking on this person. This person's taking on this person. It's easy to say that. Mm-hmm. But when you develop a story, when you're saying, okay, here's your A story, here's your B story, and here's your C story. The first, obviously, the biggest A story was, first it was the network against me. And that was fun to do because, Gene, when we did the Warzone, and we did, and the most funny, I think the most funniest one was, I forgot who was supposed to actually team with you guys. I think LG took out Mr.
We were
Gene.
supposed to have Cannoli with us.
Right. Okay. So it was supposed to be my team and me included in a war game scenario versus the network and at the time, Anthony Cannoli.
Yep.
And he dropped out. He had some personal issues he had to deal with. So we played it as into a storyline that, okay, well, he's not available. Maybe he got beat up somewhere or he got lost. So we had to come up with a way to make it that my team was going to win. And that's where the whole Dutch gaming dude came in. And Gene, that promo, I'll never forget that promo. It was so hilarious watching. One thing, folks, I'm going to say, if you want to learn character development, you want to learn believability, because that's one of the main things of professional wrestling, believability. Gene has this, he always does this expressions that you got to believe it's really happening. So it's that one thing that brings it, like, you know, like, okay, who's Scully gonna put us in with? And here comes Dutch Gaming doing in Gene's face, just told the story. And
like it was like the only thing, like, especially, you even told me like what was gonna happen beforehand, and like I'm still like, you know, we're doing that promo and I'm sitting there, I'm like in my head going, the genuine reaction if I heard this for the first time. And I, you know, based off of the characters and everything, I would have been like, my first immediate thought is, you couldn't have picked a worse person possible. You know, like it was just like hearing the worst news ever in your life. And then
trying to go into a match, which was not really a real match, but the mindset is, okay, we got to step into a cage with the enemy, and we've got this dude who's not gonna do his part.
Yeah,
it's believability, folks.
It was like one of those moments where, you know, you're like, it's like the boys rolling up and oh yeah, and then you got like the skinny, goofy, nerdy kid with like the pocket, you know, the pocket protector and everything, who's like, hi guys.
Yeah.
And you're just like, we were gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
And then
hi guys, are we gonna win this match or what? Yeah. Why did I sound like Bullwinkle? Yeah, right.
I don't know. Hey, rookie!
Yeah.
Want to see me pull a rabbit out of my hat?
That trick never works, Bullwinkle. You know?
Well, not my sleeve. Bristol.
So, but again, it's the believability and the expressions that you did, and then followed it up by Marvin's expression. That sold it. And again, that's what carried it. So the A story was network making Scully's life a living hell.
Ugh.
And we started that when Gene won the international title from LG, and Marvin and Kyle won the tag titles. So, but then we were carrying that story, and here comes Jeremy, and I said, you know what? This is a better story than ours. My team will take a back step and be like on the losing end, but let's bring Jeremy into the main story, and that's why Network versus the Freak Show was created. It's one of the best storylines in WWO, and again, Gene, we definitely give it to we give it props to the network. We give props to Jeremy all the time, but it was a team effort, and that was one of the biggest things going into that. Let's go there. So the second storyline was Jocelyn and Chim Kicks, to build up Chim Kicks, because it was Chim Kicks, Jocelyn Havoc, and Red Queen, and it formulated with Chim winning the title out of the two factions. Because you got Jocelyn on my faction, you got Red Queen in the network. Yep. So it was that story, and now it's that our story. Like now, Jocelyn and Chim are going full at it. So, and then you'll start seeing Alicia get into the storyline too with Jocelyn. So that's why we have season 2. Season 2 is going to start the new wave of talent that's going to be coming in.
There will definitely be some interesting changes that happen in season 2. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, and better production, a lot of stuff. Storylines are already being drawn, so that's going to be the thing. Is we have questions here. Let's see here. Question for the panel. Now think about this, folks. I want you to think about this. Ready? If you had to come up with a new wrestling move, okay, what would the move be? But you have to give it the name. You have to name it after a food. So let's say like it's a coconut punch, you know. So think of a wrestling move. You're going to create a new wrestling move. What would that move be? And if you had to give it a name, it had to be named after a food. See, folks, these are the tough questions we give these panels. So, Jocelyn.
What?
I'm throwing the question to you first.
Why does it have to be a food name? That's kind of weird.
That's the
Here, I'll let you off the hook, Jocelyn. I'll go ahead and go first.
Okay, go ahead, Gene.
Yeah, please do.
Okay, I got you. So, since I am in the male division, I would definitely create the banana split. And the banana split would essentially be where you would take the leg of your opponent, put it on the top rope. And then you come in, you lift up their other leg, split them up, and then you just let them fall.
Ow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make them walk funny.
Yeah. Jeez. Terry 3G says, great answer, Gene. All right. Who's next? Alicia, you want to take a crack at it? Or you want to pass?
I think I'm going to pass because none of the moves that I have are going to be food related. So,
Jocelyn, you want to pass?
Okay.
No. Okay.
No. I'll try to make one. I'll definitely do the watermelon crush when like you pick up your opponent and try to bend them in half, trying to like crush them. It's so hard. You hear that bone in half.
Oh.
So, and what's
I'm feeling that in my back already.
Yeah, my back just cracked. It felt good. Okay, so what's the name of the move then?
I'll be on the floor for that solution, but
So what's the name of it?
It's the watermelon smash.
Okay. Well, I got a better one. You grab
Uh-oh.
some.
Oh no.
What? Everybody say. You guys say the same thing that Jack McDaniels does. You grab. This is for the male division. You grab someone by their testicles, and you crush it. It's called the Nutcracker.
Oh no! That's worse than high school and the ball tap game.
Yeah, trust me, I know. All right. Next question, Gene. Selena wants to know how long does it take for you to do a whole graphic scenery, like your background and all that?
It depends on the complexity, to be honest.
We went from ball cracking to graphics design. That's
Design, yeah, it's a fun transition. So it honestly depends on what I'm creating. So like this background, it's a static background. I think this took me maybe like 30 minutes. But that's because I already had this, my logo done like this. That was already done. And then this is literally a font I use all the time, and I knew how to work with that. And then the two wires are just like little Bezier curves that I did. The most time consuming was the brick.
Okay. She said,
but it really depends. There have been some designs that I have spent a month on designing and putting together and getting it to look good. It has taken like a month to do.
All right.
So it just really depends on how complex it needs to be.
Okay, she said she followed it up with the graphic you did of the WWO Titantron with the lights and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And the lasers. How long did that take?
I think that one took me about 2 weeks to do, roughly. The lasers and lights were already part of a pack that I had licensed, and I can use for anything I want. And all those are individually built, but I still had to design the actual stage, and I had to place them, and then I had to do all the animation for it, which is, at this frame it needs to do this, and at this frame, and making it work. And so it was a couple weeks really just kind of like putting it all together, and then actually rendering it because of how much lighting and everything went into it. That the rendering of it took about 7 hours for it to complete. What? It's like a 30-second video, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Terry 3G says for Jocelyn's move that she created, she could have also called it the rack of ribs.
I like it. Yeah.
KB3. KB3 says Havoc will look awesome doing a 360 flip off the top rope into a swinging DDT.
Ooh.
So we're gonna go. Question.
Yeah, that's a pain in the ass to do.
Especially if you try doing it for real life, not in the video game.
Yeah, true. That's true.
Holy crap! Here's a hard question. Selena asked the question she says, if you guys were to do with AI today, and you were to do 3D wrestlers without WWE 2K24, would you be able to do your own wrestling characters doing moves? I don't think we can. That's a game design right there.
Well, yeah, I mean, you would have to have a game engine to run it, but you'd still have to program every individual thing. I mean, to do one show in that way, and for what we have available, even if everybody that we have in WWO was able to do it, it would still probably take us about 9 months to make a show.
Exactly.
With even like me, it would take me like 3 years to make one show then.
Yeah. It's something that are not capable of doing at the moment right now, unless we have a game designer. Any game designers out there, we would like to have like a 16-bit game done. So, hold on, wife is calling. Yes.
Oh,
Okay. I know.
So while he's doing that, I mean, if you look at what I've got here, this is the WWO stage and the lighting, and this is without doing any of the color rendering. But I mean, you can see how much is involved in this. I mean, it's a lot. This list over
Yep.
here alone is just huge.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, this is just a simple stage. This doesn't even include any people moving or having to create any of that. So, I mean, that kind of stuff, it does take, it takes a lot to put into it. Because you have to build up the character, you have to shape them, you have to get that right, then you have to get the clothing to work right, and then flow the way it's supposed to, and it can be a headache. It can really be a headache.
Yeah.
But
it's a pain in the ass too.
yeah.
Yeah, one thing I know when it comes to stuff, let me see. Did we lose Alicia?
I think
I think
temporarily.
so.
Okay. We're gonna boom. Okay, so question for then the panel. Also, what is your favorite video game console? So, Jocelyn, your video game console, your favorite one.
Oh God. I don't think I have a favorite one. Yeah,
I have
I
one
have
that I
no
call my
idea.
baby. Yeah.
All right, so let's go to Gene. Gene, favorite console.
It's my baby. The one that I've had since I was 5 years old, my NES. I will always consider that my baby, and I'm very proud to say that since 1990, it has never ever once needed a repair, a 32 pin connector replacement, nothing. It has been an absolute champ, and I love that console no matter what.
Yeah, same thing with me. I have many consoles that I've had since I was small, including the Atari 2600. Getting all the games, you get all the games, you put them together. I have that, but sometimes I don't like to actually pull the games out. So I have it's like for the NES, it's a 501 cartridge that you can actually use. So that's what I use, that I have available, and I have also my Sega Genesis and Master System. The same thing. You could buy multi games in one, in their actual cartridges, so you could play with them. Alicia, I don't know if you heard the question, but what is your favorite?
Sorry, I had to step away for a moment. Sorry.
Yeah, what is your favorite game console?
Oh gosh, I would have to say the regular Nintendo or the Super Nintendo. One of the two.
Okay,
I grew up on playing both.
nice. Okay, wrestling question. Now we're finally getting all the questions out of the way. Wrestling question: if you had a chance to go to the WWE, which brand would you go to? NXT, Raw, or SmackDown? Alicia, you're first.
Okay. If I had a choice, it would probably be I would say SmackDown.
Okay. Jocelyn?
For me, it's NXT.
All right. Gene?
I'd probably say Monday Night Raw.
All right. Okay, now, question for... okay, I guess this was a question for me. Is WWO going to do another War Games match? I don't know. Is that a part of the 2024? If it's available in WWE 2K24, we'll do it.
Yes, it will.
Oh, it is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yes, then we call it the War Zone. So we will be, if it's there and there's a necessity for it, we'll do it. So yeah, we will be doing WWO. We'll also be introducing a steel cage match coming up with a certain Phoenix and Jeremy um, in the future. Okay. Ken KB3 says, Gene, ready for this one?
Yep.
ABACABB, original Sega Genesis code for the blood in Mortal
ABA
CAB. B.
AB.
It's Apicab. It's the original Sega Genesis Mortal Kombat blood code, if you remember that.
Oh my God, no! It's been so long.
Okay.
Because I was always more of a Street Fighter guy, so like Mortal Kombat, like it's fun, but I never remembered that stuff.
Yeah. Okay, how about this, Gene? Contra code, what is it?
Up, down, left, right, A, B, select, start.
Okay, there you go. I think it's ABAB select start. Yep, but okay.
Yeah.
Follow-up question to the War Games. Gene, are you going to be in another War Games match, and which network members would you have?
Well, I could say I might be in another War Games. But by the time it probably happens, there could be some rifts that have happened in the network that causes some things.
Okay. We won't do spoilers here.
No.
No.
That there are rifts that are definitely going to be forming in the network. I will say that, and you'll find out with the upcoming show.
All right, so we're going to go now for the final question, thankfully, on the questions from the team in Facebook over. And for everybody here, thank you, everybody, for participating with those questions. If you have any more, you can throw them out here. But the final question, everybody, is, since you would like Star Wars, is Sith or Jedi? So let's go with Felicia. Sith or Jedi?
Oh man. You know, it's kind of hard to answer that question because I'm a fan of both. But
Yeah.
I'm on like
Do it.
shut up.
Use
God.
your aggressive feelings.
Yeah.
Don't make me choose.
God damn it.
Okay. You want to come back to that one, or
You know what? I'll just go with Jedi.
okay? Jocelyn Havoc. What would it be?
God damn you. Anyways,
She's
I'm gonna go with Golly.
Go ahead. I'm waiting.
For me, I'm going with Jedi.
All right. She had the hood up to be a Jedi. She's a Jedi.
So be it, Jedi.
Yeah. She is a Jedi. Hey, little Annie, check it out. She's a Jedi.
Oh, check it out on me.
Yeah. All right, Gene. Sith or Jedi?
I will be a Sith.
Gene will execute Order 66.
I've always had an
Jesus
appreciation
Christ.
for the Sith because they've never had to fool themselves into what they were.
Yeah. All right. KB3 says, what's to come after for WWO after Wrestle Clash? It is the road to Summer Bash. So we have now coming up, we have WWO Zone next week. We have at the end of the month WWO Live. And then we go back to WWO Zone. And then Saturday Night Slam and Stream. And then finally, we go back to another zone. And then Summer Bash. So a lot of big things for Summer Bash. going on. So again, we can't do out the spoilers, everybody. So right now, the big storyline is Jocelyn Havoc, and there's her dad, the original Havoc. Hey, at least it's a pillow and not a steel chair.
So yes, if anyone knows, that is the Will Havoc.
Yeah.
That is my dad.
I thought they were going to come back and hit me.
Maybe I should wear some protected armor again.
Yeah, right. So, that was unexpected.
Yeah.
Worse,
So yeah, my dad, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah, the original Havoc. And Jocelyn,
Yes.
Jocelyn, tell everybody, actually, that he was a professional wrestler. So,
Yes. So as you can tell, I actually have a wrestling figure of my dear father. So he did indie wrestling for 22 years. And I have been learning from him, from doing promos, and from, oh God, Phoenix dancing. Oh no, that's not good.
I'm sorry, I had to stand.
yeah, I was wondering what happened. By the way, Terry
Got a standing desk.
3G, Terry 3G says outside interference for Jocelyn.
Came in and attacked me with a pillow.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Better than a pillow's better than a steel chair.
those are stuck the hardest motherfucking words ever. Anyways. But yeah, I've been learning from promos, doing wrestling. Why do you think I doing great promos? Because thank you for my father, I would never be here.
Well, without your dad, you still wouldn't be here.
Oh, yeah, true.
Look at Gene. Gene's all serious there. KB3 says, "Why is Havoc spelled?
Don't lie.
Why is Havoc spelled with a K?"
That's what I was going to talk to you about, Scully.
I thought that was always the way it was spelled.
Well,
Okay.
It's not about why. It's
Yeah.
about why not.
Yeah, why not? We'll change it at the next show.
oh my God.
Everybody found that funny, so it was a great thing. You know what, folks? We're going to talk about one other thing, too. And we're going to show you a quick video here. So, everybody...
Shit.
What? She dropped
I'm just trying to close the door.
Yeah. She dropped her drink, I think. Was that it? No?
My drink was right here.
Oh, okay. So, folks, we're going to show you a quick video right now. And, Gene, you can guide us through it right there. This is your commercial.
Oh, hang on, let me... Oh, the commercial, yeah. So yeah, this is the first commercial I've ever produced, and it is for my graphic design business. So I put together a lot of the designs I have done for people over the past few years, and I'm trying to kind of demonstrate all the different things I can do. So I work in a completely different medium from most other graphic designers in content creation. Most of them will sit and use Photoshop and After Effects. They'll use the Adobe stuff, and that always kind of has this very similar look to it. And with Blender, it's a very, very different aesthetic in general. But what it allows me to do is to make more 3D look, that have that 3D look. And one of the things I've been really moving towards and pushing with is what I like to call an immersive overlay. Let's see, Rich's girlfriend Kal-El she has one of my immersive overlays where the starting soon screen is a fish tank, and in the middle it looks like Superman's Fortress of Solitude with all the crystals and everything. And then when she goes from the starting soon is over and she wants to start like just chatting, like where she's talking with everyone, it goes from looking at outside of the fish tank into the Fortress of Solitude, and then you're inside it. And you have the fish kind of like swimming around while she's talking and everything. And then from there, when she goes to the gameplay, it goes to a screen that's back there behind her logo that opens up. So like, I like creating these full environments to bring a sense of immersion to it, rather than it's just like, oh, here's another person just on a screen. I try to, for the people that ask me for these designs, I try to build something that looks like they're putting on an actual show. That they have this full set, that they're a part of, and that kind of direction. So, I mean, I've been moving it in that way. I've also been designing logos for people. I what is there? Alerts, emotes. I have done channel point rewards, like for Rich. He has where there's a dueling game that pops up, where it's two penguins. One's wearing a white hat, one's wearing a black hat, and you never know which one's gonna shoot first. So sometimes it's the white one that wins, sometimes it's the black one that wins. And I took the penguin that I designed his logo with and made him face off against each other, and then I kind of programmed everything to where he could have that happen and have a nice fun game on there. So I also do like those Twitch interactions. So I don't really limit it to just the graphic design. I can also, put together stuff with like StreamerBot and go that route. But I mean, this all started because I had somebody make a logo for me, and then when I found out it was literally just clip art that they slapped on, I was just like, I can't do this anymore. And so I made my own logo, and I based it off of the first tattoo I ever got. So, and then just from there, somebody noticed that I did this, and then they were like, hey, can you do one for me? And then I had another person and another person. It just kind of went from there.
All right.
So now I have this small little business.
So where can now I'm tongue tied. Where can anybody go? I'm gonna put it like this. I'm gonna pause it right there. Where can anybody go to contact you regarding these streams? Now, it's right there. You folks can now see it. There is the QR code, so you can scan it on our screen.
I think that QR code is now outdated.
Okay.
So, it's actually all you got to do is go to osuphoenix.tv. I do have a website, and it's not just like the graphic design stuff, but everything I do with content creation in general. But there is a section dedicated to all the design stuff I do. So I actually have a full library portfolio of all the stuff I've designed, so you can look through and see what I've done. I have free designs on there. Because on Fridays I like to do free design Friday, so I make stuff and then I put it on the website. Anybody can download it, use it however you want. Don't care. I just make stuff for free, so that way, streamers starting out at least have something. Because I know starting out not having anything sucked. But yeah, there's free designs on there, and then I also have right now 2 already done like overlay designs that you can go in, you can buy. One is a fully immersive overlay. Another one is a very generic one. I think the generic one is like $35. It's kind of more your standard kind of stream setup. The immersive one, I think I have listed at like $200 because it was a lot of time and effort to do. But that comes with like full installation. So all you have to do is either import it to Streamlabs, or you just unzip the OBS Studio file and it's good to go.
There you go.
So, I try to make sure that everything's easy to do. But yeah, you can hire me for custom designs. So I have like pricing on how that is. I'm usually a very reasonable guy. So, I tend to work with people and try to be very accommodating when I can. But yeah, if you ever want to reach out to me, you can ping me in the WWO Discord if that's easy for you. I've got my own Discord with Rich the Redneck, Jeremy the Madman, Red Queen Phoenix, Rising Phoenix, and a few other creators that we know. And in there, we help anybody who needs help with OBS or anything really streaming wise. So we're a group, a good community. Definitely a good way to reach out to me. But Discord is really the best way to find. I'm usually more connected to that than anything.
All right, and again, thank you, Gene. Again, most of the designs you see, the backgrounds of us, there goes my dog's barking. It's done by Gene himself, so OSU Phoenix, you could definitely check him out. So make sure you go to that, and you can get some great screen backgrounds and everything. It's what we use, so make sure you guys check it out. So there we go with that. So, folks, it's been a really busy 2 hours. We've had everything going on from Jocelyn dressing up as a dragon to being attacked by pillows, by cats I see there. It's a cat. He just said meow. Yeah.
Yeah, mine vacated.
Yeah.
The desk went up, so she left.
So, folks,
We talked this about.
Yep.
So we're gonna close it up, but before we do, we have Terry 3G says the penguin versus penguin, like spy versus spy.
Yeah, kind of. Except it's a duel. It's a shootout.
Yep. So
High noon.
So, folks, with that, I'm going to tell you it's been a fun 2 hours. You guys just made it completely fun with all the questions, all the stuff that we've talked about. WWO Zone, it is next Thursday at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We will have also WWO Live at the end of the month. And I got to pull up those questions, that thing right there. WWO Live June 29th. So make sure you all write that down. We're gonna
Definitely got some surprises on that one too.
Yep, we got a lot going on. So for this zone, we already have signed. Skinny P with Fox Bandana will be in action. We will have a women's match. Will be there. Dutch will be making his return to there, hopefully without a table being put through. The Hellbelly will be on there, and the main event for WWO Zone will be Showtime Shane Black taking on KB3. So that is June 14th.
That'll be fun.
Yep, that'll be the Battle of the Wrestling Promos. So, folks, with that, let's go down the line. Alicia, you do streams on Twitch. Where can anybody find you?
Yeah, people can find me on twitch.tv / Alicia Warrior Queen. You can also find me on YouTube under Alicia Landis, which is my actual name. And that's all there is to it.
All right. I know Jocelyn just does a lot of havoc, so she doesn't have a stream set up yet, but we'll get that going. Gene, again, you do a lot of great work. You do your own streams. You're everywhere. You're the man of everything. That WWO wouldn't be around today without him. So where can everybody find you? I know you do Twitch.
Yeah. So if the website has everything, and we'll link you to everything I've got. So I do have the Twitch stream. Right now, I have Tuesdays and Fridays that start at, I have to math here, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then the big show that always happens is Wednesday nights, starting at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's Winnable Wednesday, and that's basically my game show. So we do Jackbox games, and whoever wins games gets put on a wheel, and once a month I do prize drawing. There's no purchases required or anything. It's literally just come in, have a good time. It's an adult stream. There's very adult things that happen, so just be aware. But I also have a YouTube channel where I do tutorials on OBS Studio. I also, hi Kitty. I do tutorials on StreamerBot and various other things. So the YouTube channel also does a lot of different things. And then, yeah, I've got a few other places I am, but those are the big ones.
Yeah, that the cat has a glowing red tail, like the outline is a red tail, so that's kind
Yeah,
of cool.
Angel. Thank you.
Yep, she's sitting right back there. It's like there
Yeah,
you
she has
go.
to go back. She has to go back to sleep.
Yep, that's a great what cats mostly do. So
Yeah, she's my grumpy old lady.
So, folks, you know what? It's been a great 2 hours. We actually been here for 2 hours. Gene, thank you for coming in. Alicia, thanks for being part of it. Jocelyn, once again, being up here. Folks, it's been a wild one. We've got a lot of questions done, and I think we're gonna have to do another stream, Gene, where we just talk about video games and consoles and bring them all out. And
Honestly, man, anytime you want me on, just let me know and I'll make time for it.
Well, like I said, you have been one of the most requested. So we got everybody's happy now. We got finally the international champion OSU Phoenix. So, but before we actually go off the air, I'm gonna tell everybody: without these three people, WWO wouldn't function. You know, Gene again does all the great graphics and stuff, the promos for Alicia for joining in from going from one realm now to our crazy world.
Yeah.
She got a chance to see what we do, and Jocelyn, she's just been in there in the thick of things. So, but we're gonna go. Hold on, all right, Selena says one more question for Gene. Which Ghostbuster are you?
So personally, I always thought I was more Ray Stantz. I was more the Dan Aykroyd character. That's how I always saw myself. But apparently, according to everyone else in the world, I'm more of a Peter Venkman.
Yes. If that was a question presented that Selena presented to Jeremy the Madman, and he said the same thing. He picked himself as I
have my proton pack.
Oh my God.
I have my proton pack, so like, yeah, I'm good to go.
Yeah. Outside in the Dodge.
You lucky bastard.
Wow.
My wife, okay, again, my wife lets me do a lot of crazy stuff. That's the reason why she's the perfect woman for me, because she's like, yeah, sure, go for it. Why not?
Don't make me pull out my Christmas Story Red Ryder BB gun.
Does it have the compass in the stock?
Yeah. It's hanged on the wall next to my AEW figures, my Married with Children figures.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was a limited thing. They actually made Married with Children figures. I got an original Mr. Potato Head.
Oh.
Up there. Gene, remember Mr. Bill?
Yeah.
I got Sluggo, Mr. Bill, and Spot. Hold on.
Sorry if you saw my hand go like that. It was because I was flicking it fly out of my face.
See, this is where, again, I'm going to just say it. Scully and I need to just take pictures of all of our nerdy stuff and just, like, throw it into the WWO Discord server and just be like, who's got the better collection?
Yeah, that's going to be the new war. Okay, so...
Yeah, the war of who's the nerdiest.
We were supposed to be ending the stream, folks, but we got to do... This is extra content right now. Here you go, Gene. I'm going to hold them up so you can see them. The green... I think the greens... I got to shut off my green screen, so...
Oh my god, that's awesome!
Let me... Bink. There we go.
Oh my god.
That is fantastic.
And it'll take you a bit to come in screen for you, but here he is. Spot. Here comes Mr. Bill's dog.
God, that is so awesome!
And Jocelyn, since you had Baby Yoda, I got the original. Wait till he pops up for you guys from this. I got something.
Oh no.
Gizmo.
Let me see. I think I don't know if he works. He's supposed to sing. And,
It's Gizmo.
yeah, he would go.
Oh my! He would actually sing the song.
Yeah, he would sing the song. I think the batteries are dead on it. Because
Oh,
there is
man.
batteries. There's batteries that need to be in it. So let me see.
Oh, that's
on,
awesome.
let me
I'm
see.
sorry. It's just.
Let me see if I can actually pull the batteries out. This.
Don't worry. I won't pull out any more of my toys. Otherwise, we'll be here all night.
Yeah, we'll be here all night. But yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He does sing. Let me see if I can actually get the batteries out. But I have a crazy bunch of collectible stuff all around. I got even Godzilla stuff. I'm a big fan of Godzilla. I got Godzilla mask from actual Toho Studios. So,
Oh, nice.
So that's up there. I'm trying to get this freaking battery out of his ass here. So, and when it comes to Star Wars, while I do love the Jedi and the Sith, I'm a big Clone Wars guy. So I actually have a wearable Captain Rex helmet. So,
Nice.
yeah.
I just have a generic Stormtrooper helmet.
Yeah, so there you go. Yep. So he would talk and he would sing the song like woo. This
That's
little
awesome.
guy is creepy because there are times if you forget to leave him on in the middle of the night he'll go woo. So
Just make sure you don't feed him after midnight.
oh yeah. So and who here plays Dead by Daylight?
It's been a
Not
while.
me.
Okay. Hold on a second.
Oh no.
My wife actually made this for me, and I promise, folks, this is it. No more showing off stuff.
Oh, wow.
The actual hex totem.
Dude.
She made,
Oh
Wow.
my god.
That's really cool.
yeah. Actually, she made that for me, so carefully put that back down. So yeah, she made that for me as a birthday gift, and it is the actual with bones and everything. Looks, we put a little candle underneath, like a light little those LED candles, and we could change the color on it, so it looks like a hex totem. So that's pretty cool. So
That's awesome.
oh man, I tell you, I can just go through. I can put on the Godzilla helmet, the hat, and all that. But we're not gonna do that. We're gonna be here forever. And
Yep.
these folks gotta go. Ellie.
It's okay. I'll start with the geeky stuff next time I'm on.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll have a lineup ready.
KB3 says original Potato Head was just a kit. You have to bring your own potato. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He also says it's Gizmos, and Ellie says, "Oh, that's neat, Scully." Yep. So with that, folks, I mean, I've got crazy stuff. Maybe I'll do a stream of that someday. I got wrestling autographs from my day. I've got like so much crap. It's not funny. My wife lets me keep a lot of junk. So with that, folks, again, thanks for being part of Off Scripts Podcast. Thank you to Empress Alicia for being on here, to the Demoness Jocelyn Havoc, and the current WWO International Champion, the leader of the network, OSU Phoenix. So, folks, the time is up. Let's go for tonight. See you next week.
Good night.